Okay, we've got our primer on, a bit of mixed success. Not too bad though. You can sort of see the deep gouges in it, but the primer coat now, because there's two or three of those on there, that should now smooth all them out, because they're just horrible big body file scratches, because it took a lot of work. I mean, it actually looked pretty straight, but the outside door actually hit that pretty heavy. Like, got a few little runs in it, but the insides of the doors is where I was really concentrating on, because I didn't want to spend hours trying to sand them smooth. So the actual primer has actually gone on quite smooth and smoothed out all the little bits and pieces I sort of thought was ugly. So that was probably a good thing. The other door we didn't need as much. One whopping big run in it and the gun started splattering a bit. But it's not too bad, he's all sealed up. And the inside of the doors, not too bad. Same sort of deal, it's quite smooth. I can now just buzz out the orbital sander. It sort of fills up a lot of those guide coat splatters, which seemed a bit extreme. I don't know what I was thinking or how I'd end up doing that, but there on, I just created myself more work. I mean, we got a little bit of overspray on the cab, but it's bugger all or nothing. And it'll just sand out in no time. And I wasn't too worried about trying to take the doors off and sit them on the stand. For the amount of overspray I get there, it's still very flat. Quick orbital sand with all that, which I'm going to go over again anyway. The all smooth and looking good. So I might flick a little bit of guide coat over these panels, a lot less aggressive coat, and that should probably do us. Technically I only like to use acrylic in the guide coat, but now I just grab whatever I can find. Like one bloke said to me, he said, you plan on sanding it all off anyway, so it doesn't really matter what you put on, I guess. Right, let all that dry and give it all a sand. Like I said, hopefully that bedliner turns up. That'll be dry. We can flip it over, paint the inside of that, which I probably forgot to tell you about. Paint the inside of the guards and get the roof done. And then, oh, we're very close to paint now. Alright, the paint came in, been down the road and grabbed it. So I'm going to be trying out the Gladiator brand of 2-pack bedliner. So it's supposed to be very similar to the other well-known brand. This came in a little bit cheaper. I mean, fair enough, I did get it through work and they give us good prices. So we'll just see how it goes. First things first, I want to see if it actually fits the Schultz gun that I've got. Weird things happen, should be all the same. Yeah, it looks pretty much the same. Looks like it's just one big bottle. I've got 4 litre kit here, and then gives you one little bottle of hardener per one, so it's nothing messy where you're pouring out of one big bottle into a cup and all that. You just take one bottle per tin, tip it straight in. So sort of keen to give it a go. When I'm painting this stuff though, I always think it's important to sort of get a game plan, because it's so easy to apply and it's so fast and aggressive. I like to try and map out how far I think each tin's going to get me and try and stick to that. And so I keep within our budget, because I could easily blow through this whole 4 litres just doing these few basic jobs easy. So, because you can just keep pouring it on. So I think I'm going to aim for 1 bottle for the front guards, 1 bottle for the underneath the bonnet, and then I'd really like to try and do just 1 bottle inside the roof and the rear of a cab. I haven't told you about that one yet, but you'll see as we go. I'd like to keep 1 bottle for myself, because I've got some jerry can holders I've made to put on the back of Paddy. So, but worst comes to worst, I'll just use it for, and I'll just have to buy another kit. So we'll aim for that. We'll see how we go, and we'll give it a run, because when I was having a bit of trouble with the last paint, I actually have pulled the extra nozzle out of that and found out the Schultz gun went a lot better. It was a bit more of a generic, cheaper gun, but yeah, I did pull the extra tip out of that, and it sprayed it faster, and because I don't really want to hang around trying to sit there for too long. So we'll see how it goes with this. Worst case scenarios is if I at least get the texture on and get what I want, I can always run over with some 2-pack black just out of a spray gun, just to make it more uniform to a certain degree. So we'll give this a quick go. We'll start on the bonnet and see what that looks like, and then go into the guards. Hopefully we have enough left over of the bonnet where we can start into the guards. See how we go. Alright, part 2 of the outboard makeover. We sanded and primed the actual engine cowl, and given out a bit of a lick of paint. It hasn't come up too bad. Colour's actually quite nice. Like we said, we actually had some reject water base, and then I threw in a few different colours of a solvent base coat into it to give it a bit more sparkle in the sun. So maybe 2 worlds that shouldn't have ever gone together. We just thought, oh well, what can go wrong? Let's put them together. So now, just need to give her leg a bit of a sand. I don't think it's going to take much really. Sand, tape up what we don't want to get paint on, and then give it a quick flick over too, and see if we can get the rest of it to look as good as a cow. Alright, off we go. Just going to have to stay on top of my air pressures. I just want to be dusting it on so I'm not blasting it all back through the boat.